Hey everybody, it's Sarah and welcome back to my channel. I know I skipped last week. Work has been really busy and the kids are getting out of school, so it's been super crazy. So today I finally had a day off, kind of to myself. The girls are in their last full day of school today, so I cleaned the house, I did some laundry, and I sat down to start scrapbooking. And I had already gotten a little bit of pre-work done and I thought, oh, I better just turn my camera on and get a couple videos done today. So I'm starting off with, this is about the second week of May, just kind of general pictures of the day. I did fill that bottom 3x4 pocket with 4 stars. One of them you can't really see. It's a very, very light teal, and it's kind of hiding under that other teal one. So I grabbed a little die cut there that says Live Today, and I just ran that through my sewing machine just to add a little bit of interest. And then the green one on the bottom said something like recorded, and I loved that green, but I wanted to make that card a little flashier. So I added one of those vellum speech bubbles and a beautiful rose or flower bouquet die cut, and then one of the Dear Lizzie tags. I'm bound and determined to use those up. It's going to happen. There was a lot that came in the pack. So here I'm already done with this page because I am doing not really minimal embellishing, but I'm trying not to go as crazy as I normally go. I'm trying not to put anything on my photos. I'm really concentrating on taking the best pictures that I can and editing them properly and printing them properly, so I'm not dealing with dark, fuzzy, faded, bad pictures. I really want my what I think are okay photography skills to kind of shine in these. So that is a pink card that had half of a pear on it. I thought that was kind of odd, so that hot air balloon fit perfectly. And then I also did a 3x4 Becky Higgins fuse pocket, and I put Mother's Day on there with some old thickers from my stash. And I filled it with, I believe, the lemonade mix from Lucy's Cards, and I sewed that shut with my sewing machine. And then I did 2 more of those vellum speech bubbles on that teal card from Studio Calico. And then I used a round die cut that says, "You will forever be my always." Now this page is going to be all about kind of the places that we went in May. And it looks like we went to piano lessons. That is a picture of me in my pajama pants and the steering wheel dropping the kids off at school in the morning, because that's how I roll on my day off. I normally work every morning at 6 o'clock in the morning, so bringing the kids to school at 7:30 is my favorite day to sleep in. So even though the kids have to be to school by 7:30, that is really sleeping in for me. And then looks like there's a Trader Joe's bag in my hand there. In the middle, my youngest daughter is eating a Dairy Queen ice cream sandwich. The bottom left, my youngest is getting her teeth cleaned at the dentist, or maybe that might have been the day that she got sealants on her molars too. That could have been it. Sorry about that. That is my husband texting me, wondering what is for lunch. And then the bottom right was a shopping day that my oldest and my mother went on. They went to the outlet mall, and she really, oddly enough, wanted Crocs. I didn't buy her many Crocs this summer because to me, Crocs are for either old people or little people, like, the under 6 age. But for some reason, all the girls in school are wearing Crocs and socks, so she needed Crocs and socks. So my mom was nice enough to run her out there, and I think she ended up with, like, I don't know, now she's got a teal pair, a hot pink pair, and maybe a light pink pair, so that should hold her over for the summer. And then on their way back, they stopped at a new taco place in Eagan called Our Taco that my mom has been really wanting to try, and I guess it was really good. I haven't made it out there yet. But anyhow, back to the spread. There is a filler card that I made with one of the Studio Calico cards and one of the vellum speech bubbles, and I used half of one of the bicycles and an old I think it's a cork piece that says Going Places. So there is another card from Studio Calico, a journal one, that I ran through my sewing machine and just typed out all the places that we went over the month. And I think that's going to kind of do it for this spread. I'm really trying also to do a mix of black and white and color pictures. Like when the colors are really wild or aren't going to match maybe the kit that I'm using for the month, I'm also going to maybe do it in black and white. Or if it's really busy, the inside of the Dairy Queen was kind of off-white, so I thought, oh, I'm going to print that one in black and white. I think it turned out much better. So now, me and my pajama pants, again on camera, are going to just slip all these into the pockets. I have been really careful cutting my photos when I print 2 3x4s on a 4x6 to make sure that I am cutting like a 1/16 of an inch off of the middle, like the gutter, if that makes sense, the white gutter in the middle. So all of my white borders are even, and I have enough wiggle room in these pockets. These are either from A Beautiful Mess or from Studio Calico. I'm pretty sure they're the exact same thing because they are basically the same company. But anyhow, these pockets are just the tiniest bit smaller than 3x4 and 4x6. So just a little word to the wise if you're going to switch to 9x12s from Studio Calico or A Beautiful Mess. So now I'm trying to figure out, I have some journaling strips about Mother's Day there. My husband put 3 racks of ribs and a pork butt on our smoker. And my whole family came over to celebrate in the backyard. My aunt brought over that gorgeous Madagascar vanilla cake that is kind of in the upper right in the middle there. And it was just an amazing picnicky day. We hung out in the backyard. The weather was beautiful. And I just don't know where I'm going to stick the journaling. So I grabbed that Fiesta Like There's No Mañana card, and I added a Dear Lizzie camera and my journaling strips. And then I decided I'm going to make, and I don't make these much, and you'll see why, a like flip card to kind of cover up the ribs, because the ribs are cool, but they kind of look a little weird, you know, meat, whatever. So I decided I'm going to use some gold washi from my stash that turns out to be not the stickiest washi that I've ever had. So with the help of some AC red tape, I do manage to very nicely get it to stick on. And AC red tape, as you guys know, is my favorite for attaching like that shaker pocket that says Mother's Day. That is my absolute favorite for adhering really anything and everything to the outside of pocket pages, because it will not give up on you. It will not peel off. I mean, if you really need to get it off, you can get it off if you absolutely need to, like if you make a mistake with placement, but it really is forever tape. So there, I am going to stick now some in the middle there just to cover up my gap, and then I'm going to give it a nice, make sure everything's even, and then that washi tape just did not even want to stick to the front of the journal card. So I added a little bit of my Easy Runner Grand to the front, just making sure everything is straight and level and even. And I kind of like how that looks like a book up there. That's kind of cool. So now we are moving on. I think this is the last page that I'm going to make for this video. This gets us through to like May 27th. There wasn't much going on those last 3 days, but my daughter did go to the zoo, and I think I will just do like one, maybe two pages just of her adventures at the zoo. It was a field trip that I ended up chaperoning, and we had a lot of fun. So anyhow, these are pictures of my poor oldest ended up with pneumonia. So I did a little bit of journaling about that on that. That was actually a 4x6 that I cut in half from Studio Calico from the kit this month. There is a picture of her medicine up on top, and also some liquid grape Advil. The poor kid, she had a cold like a month before, and then all of a sudden came up with a fever, like a really high, like 104.2 fever out of nowhere, it seemed. And this was a Sunday, of course, so I panicked and sent my husband into the emergency room with her, and sure enough, she had pneumonia. So I was really glad that we were able to get her in. I just felt bad that she kind of suffered for a couple of days with a low-grade fever, and then that last day it really spiked. Ooh, there's my arm. Sorry, ladies. I am in a tank top because it is warm. Finally, in Minnesota, we have summer. So there is another 3x4 Becky Higgins fuse that I put an acrylic piece that says Sweetheart and a couple of stars from L Studio, and then I dumped in some pink, I think maybe like cotton candy, one of the beautiful pink mixes from Lucy's Cards. I'm going to add some Gossamer Blue cork to that Life is a Picnic with You, because we were out in the yard eating that night when Mom came home with some fidget spinners for the girls. And then my youngest daughter, that whole weekend while my oldest recuperated, she and I did a lot of art projects. My mom brought her over some Shopkins. So that picture that I covered up with Sweetheart is her examining her new Shopkins and finding them on the list, or the little booklet that always comes with them. That's like her favorite part. So anyhow, here are some close-ups. I hope you are enjoying my much more simplistic way of documenting this year, and I will have another video for you on Saturday. Bye, ladies. I hope you have a great crafty week.